me give you the real tea on epidurals. First thing you want to do, ask your labor nurse if anesthesia is in-house or not. This means, is anesthesia sleeping here in the hospital or are they at home? This is important to know because it's going to affect your wait time after you ask for your epidural. Do they just need to put their shoes on, or are they going to have to get in their car and drive to you? Also, nobody talks about the wait time. From the time you ask for your epidural to the time anesthesia shows up to do your epidural, at least 30 minutes. I'm talking minimum. When you ask for your epidural, your nurse is going to give you extra IV fluids. Usually anesthesia requires this before they will place your epidural. That usually takes at least 30 minutes on its own. When anesthesia shows up, they still have to consent you for the procedure. They're going to ask you a lot of health questions, inform you of the risk and the benefits, and make sure you're still wanting the procedure. That's going to take at least another few minutes. Meanwhile, you're contracting through all of this. Then you have to get positioned for the epidural, and anesthesia has to set up all of their equipment, prepare all of their medications before they even start on the epidural. Then they do the procedure. Usually this takes between 5 and 15 minutes, but it's going to take between 10 and 20 minutes to start working. I don't know what the math is, but when you add all of that up, you're looking at over an hour from the time that you asked until the time that you're comfortable. Keep this in mind. On that same note, try to avoid asking for an epidural close to shift change. If it's near 6 o'clock, they're probably not coming. Next thing is make sure you have an emesis or a vomit bag next to you as soon as you get your epidural. I'm talking in your hand, tucked under your pillow, next to you. It's really common to vomit after epidurals due to the changes that can happen with your blood pressure. You want to be prepared and not thrown up on yourself, your bed, your nurse, the floor. So make sure you ask for an emesis bag before they even place your epidural and stick it under your pillow. If at any point after you get your epidural placed, you start feeling pain, you start feeling your contractions again, the epidural comes with a bolus button. It's usually connected to your epidural pump. It looks like this. That button is there so that you can give yourself an extra dose of medication if you are hurting. It has a safety feature on it that makes sure that you don't give yourself too much, so there's no way that you can overdose on it. It will lock out if it's not time for you to get an extra dose. But if you're hurting, press the button. If you don't see the button, look for it. If you've pressed your button and you're still uncomfortable, of course, let your nurse know. Anesthesia may need to come back and give you more medication. You should not be hurting, crying, rolling around in your bed uncomfortable when you have an epidural. That defeats the purpose. Even if you're not planning on having an epidural, something that you may consider doing is asking your nurse if they'll let you know when it's your last chance, last opportunity to get an epidural. In case you change your mind, you know at that moment, that's your last chance. Save this video so you're not scrambling when you need it later, and give me a follow.